Battle shonen and seinen animes can be one of the most entertaining genres to consume. These stories are oftentimes really be fast-paced as means to keep the audience as excited as possible. The demand for anime has increased in recent years due to the rise in the streaming services. Since viewers can check out these shows in abundance, there's the need to find out more series that can deliver the kind of entertainment that the fans want. That is why I am here. So you don't have to do the research for long hours. Many fighting animes have battles that are often filled with great stakes at hand. It's common to see the hero of the story breaks his or her limits to overcome a truly overwhelming force. And in doing so, they provide us with some of the best fights in the anime. Of course, these stories don't only focus on battles, and they often have interesting plots, themes and characters. The anime mentioned in this video all have some of the best hand-to-hand combat fight scenes of all time. So without any further ado, let's start with our video. On the 10th number, the anime name is Bento. Bento literally means lunchbox in Japanese. How does a show deliver such greatness that cannot be matched by other action shows? The answer is simple. Bento knows its place as an over-the-top parody work. Most of the shows suffer from being bland copies of each other and turns bland by the time the second episode pops up. However, every single episode of Bento is simmered, well roasted and serves with refreshment. The show's main appeal is its dramatic fighting sequences, and production David does it very well. Do not fear the absurd premise. In shopping malls, it is a well-known fact that the discounted goods are pretty much fought over. Bento just takes it to a whole new level. The ridiculously over-the-top action scenes are rendered and always intense. Not even a typical pool episode can hinder the awesomeness of punching people's stomachs for the sake of an unagi don bento. Speed lines are used graciously and the action can be seen easily due to the presentation it is drawn. Overall, a pretty good show for the people who want to see some crazy hand-to-hand combat scenes. On the 9th number, the anime name is Kurokami the Animation. High school student Ibuki Keita has been haunted by misfortune for a long time as he can remember. For no apparent reason, everyone around him dies tragically. Ultimately, he refuses to become close to anyone, even his childhood friend Akane. This leaves Keita alone in his full life of misery and disgrace. While eating at his favorite ramen shop one evening, Keita meets a strange young girl named Kuro, possessing abilities that surpass that of a normal human being. Kuro classifies herself as an Moto Tsumitama. She explains to Keita about Terra, a life energy force split between the three identical looking people, a global phenomenon called as doppelganger system. As a Momo Tsumitama, Kuro guards the coexistence equilibrium, the being that protects the flow of Terra around the world. Keita refuses to believe her story until he is caught up in a crossfire of his hidden world. On the verge of death, he makes a contract with Kuro, without even knowing its true meaning. Now he is born to Kuro and must be with her all the time. Art is quite decent in this anime. Actually, the awesome thing about this anime is the story. But still the animation were fluid and had been used to perfectly bring out the best in the anime, from the colors to the fluidity. It was very nice. I would recommend this anime to all the anime fans out there, as its uniqueness will drive you either crazy or it might just change your point of view on how you rate this anime solely based on the characters and the story. On the 8th number, the anime name is Tenjo Thingy. For some people, high school represents the opportunity for a fresh start. You can take new classes and make new friends. But for Soichiro Nagi and Bob Makihara though, high school means something different. The change to become the top fighters in the entire student body. Too bad, Todo Academy is the hardest possible place to realize their dreams. Their new high school is no ordinary academic institution. Rather than concentrating on the classic subjects like maths and science, Todo Academy was created for the sole purpose of reviving the martial arts in Japan. As a result, Shoichiro's aspirations to become top dog are cut short when he runs afoul of Matasaka Kayanagi and Maya Natsume. These two upperclassmen easily stop the freshman duo's rampage across the school, but rather than serving as a deterrent, it only stokes their competitive fire. What kind of monstrous fighters attend Todo Academy? Are there any stronger than Masaka and Maya? And why in the world is Masaya's younger sister is stalking Shoichiro? Watch this anime and learn the answers to all of these questions. Overall, I would rate this anime at least 7 because for being an anime that I myself found out that I was not interested at first, but I was pleasantly surprised afterwards. So 100% I would recommend you guys to watch this anime too. On the 7th number, the anime name is Megalo Boxer. The premise of the series involves Junk Dog, an underground Megalo Boxer. He participates in a popular sport in their world known as Megalo Boxing. What is Megalo Boxing? It's basically sports that involves boxers fighting with metal gears. Think of it as boxing but with more lethal and brutal consequences. Junk Dog takes on the moniker named Joe so he can participate in the Megalo tournament. Throughout the series, we see his life journey as both a Megalo boxer and a person. On first viewing, Megalo Boxing made an intimidating and fascinating impression on me. Overall, Megalo Boxing is a great sports shounen anime to watch if you are into boxing. So if you can get past the crazy plot of boxing using mechanical gears and one-dimensional side of characters, give this show a watch. After all, this anime isn't all about the destination, it's about the journey. I know that's cringy, but as being one of the spectators, we are in the Megalo Box arena. And it feels like we are right in that anime. And all we need to do after that is just sit back and enjoy this anime. On the 6th number, the anime name is Hajime Ippo. Japanese featherweight champion Ippo has successfully defended and retained his title. Meanwhile, his rival Ichiro Miyata has resurfaced in Japan, aiming for his own featherweight belt in the Oriental Pacific Boxing Federation. When the rest of the world comes knocking, however, will Japan's best fighters rise to the challenge and achieve glory at the top? Or will the small islands nation will be crushed under the weight of greater entities? This time, champions will become challengers, issuing the call to rest of the world and ready to show off their fighting spirits. In this anime, you just don't have pure fight and actions non-stop. No, you get to know each one of the characters in this series. It's like you are one of the part of the anime. I don't know, I have felt it before. The gang of this anime, it always looks like I'm a part of it, laughing and sorrowing with them. Just like everyone feels like while watching Haikyuu. Watching them to get beaten up and again stand again, that makes me feel really happy. This anime shows that there is no just brute force in boxing. Those boxers have something that keeps them on the surface, not letting them sink. And it actually shows you that this is not impossible. This is not an anime about some superhero. You can be just one of these people, with your friends, your guts and your will. On the 5th number, the anime name is The God of High School. The God of High School tournaments has begun, seeking out the greatest fighters among Korean high school students. All martial art styles, weapons, means and methods of attaining victory are permitted. And the prize after winning is one wish for anything desired by the winner. Taekwondo expert Jin Mori is invited to participate in the competition. There, he befriends karate specialist Han Dae-wi and swordsman Yu Mi-ra, who both have entered for their own personal reasons. Mori knows that no opponent will be the same and that matches will be the most ruthless he has ever fought in his life. But instead of being worried, this prospect excites him. MAPPA has done an incredible job on this anime, and the animation is really smooth and fight scenes are very impactful. Overall, the story gets a little complicated and they fail to explain many things which happens in the anime. But if you want to watch some epic fight scenes with some little bit of story, nothing is better than The God of High School. On the 4th number, the anime name is Fog Hill of 5 Elements. Yu Shang Wu Xing, also known as Fog Hill of 5 Elements in English, is based on fictional China historical fantasy. Demons, superhumans, spirits, their existence has an effect on some people. One of them is our protagonist. He has special powers named Fire, unlike an ordinary person. We don't know his past and way of his life, but he is a very strong man in terms of living and fighting. At the same time, he has a very kind heart and his justice defeats every enemy. In a word, he is one of the best main protagonists. You can understand his true strength and you can watch this show. The action scenes in this anime always attracts me and reminds me of Ghost Rider in a good way. I love this anime. If you want to see splendid fights, magnificent visuals, and you can love the protagonist and heroine's personality, this is a hidden gem that exists for you. Chinese entertainment won't disappoint you regularly. So I hope that you will enjoy this anime. On the third number, the anime name is Kenichi, the Mightiest Discipline. Kenichi Shirahama would rather spend his life reading self-improvement books than fighting. However, when he finally works upon the courage to become strong and join his school's karate club, he is coerced into fighting a bully upperclassmate who is intending on getting him kicked out of his club. He is about to give it up all until he falls for his mysterious new classmate, Miu Furinji. In order to face this challenge, he undergoes rigorous training at the dojo she lives at. Some initial training by the masters there allows him to defeat his upperclassmate. However, his fighting prowess brings him the attention of a powerful gang of delinquents, Ragnarok. Wishing to protect the things he loves and determined to have the strength to face the increasing adversity, he must learn various martial arts from the dojo's resident masters, taking karate, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, Chinese martial arts and combining them all to create his own fighting style. The story is basically nothing from the ordinary. You have probably seen something like this, but what sets this story apart is how it is executed. Some things are obvious at the start and some things aren't. There are few surprises as the story progresses though. It's one of those I'll protect the world stories, but with a comedic twist. I would say that the closest anime to Kenichi would be the Law of Ueki. If you like that, then I'm sure you will love this too. On the second number, the anime name is Bucky. After emerging victorious from the brutal underground tournament, Bucky Hanma continues on his path to defeat his father, Yujiro. However, he gets no time to rest when the tournament runner Tokugawa Mitsurari visits him at the school. He reveals to Bucky that 5 incredible dangerous death rows emerge from around the world, all skilled in martial arts. They have simultaneously escaped confinement and are heading to Tokyo, each wishing to finally know the taste of defeat. Tokugawa warns that due to his well-known strength, Bucky is bound to encounter them sooner or later, and he will not be their only target. The characters in Bucky seems relatively different from each other, but the major disparity between them would be their fighting styles. On one hand, you have the honorable martial artists, each with their own history and methods of fighting, and on the other hand, you have the mostly despicable death rows inmates who focuses on more underhanded tactics to win. Bucky is the true tournament arc anime and I love it for that. And I hope you will also enjoy this anime for that too. On the first number, the anime name is Kengan Ashura. This anime is intentionally ridiculous. You got Panasonic, Bandai, Nintendo and McDonald's out here hiring mercenaries, psycho killers and pro wrestlers to fight each other to the death to secure contracts for lucrating multi-billion yen deals in underground death matches. Business deals are usually made through meetings and contracts, but in the world of Kengan Ashura, business resorts to another means to make their decisions, by hiring gladiators. Kengan Ashura depicts a world brimming with action, violence and martial arts, one where powerful gladiators have fought in grand arenas since the Edo period to settle the disputes of wealthy businesses and merchants. Oma Tokita, who is nicknamed as the Ashura, is the fighter trying to prove himself as the strongest. Hideki Nogi, a member of the Nogi group, hires Oma to fight for him and makes Kazumo Yamashita, an average middle-aged man, his manager. This duo throws into fight fascinatingly by Kengan Association. As for the fights, they are very entertaining to watch. While some CGI is ugly, while it is not properly animated, it has one advantage over the traditional anime, in that the motions are much smoother. This leads to some of the very fun fights. The fights in Kengan Ashura are brutal, nearing Mortal Kombat level of couple of times. But the gore is not too excessive, and if you are not into that, probably only one fight will really bother you. As with any tournament battle anime, you get all kinds of styles and powers. People who fight with hair, people who appears to transform, etc. It leads to some of the interesting combinations and characters, and that's the main thing that sets Kengan Ashura apart from lot of tournaments anime. And also in this anime, fights not containing main character are actually interesting, and because of all of these reasons, Kengan Ashura is one of the most watched fighting anime of all time. So that wrapped up for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching it till here, and if you enjoyed, make sure to comment your thoughts about this video in the comment section down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.